modified country, and these are the men of the GAF Modified Masters.
$68,000 make up the purse here tonight. $12,000 going to tonight's winner, along with a pretty cool trophy and that special jacket to be presented in Napa Victory Lane by the American Woolen Company here in Stafford. We're going to wait for one car that fell off the pace on pit road.
It is David Arute, car number 75. David earlier this afternoon says, I've had a problem at the Sizzler. I had a problem. The car ran well, but I got behind the 8 ball initially. Now his car is down on pit road. Last time he was running his SK Modified here, he had a problem with the rear suspension on the Chassis Pro machine. And now that car, his crew, looking over things up front. Lights are off on the safety vehicle. At the point, time is running out. A look at the billboard, center screen, GAF, Riverhead Building Supplies, the GAF Modified Masters, about to go green off turn 4.
Ron Silk with the jump on the front row as 25 Modifieds thunder into turn number 1 for the first of 100 laps. Perry and Pastriak side by side for second, then Pitcat in fourth, all behind Ron Silk, who picks up where he left off earlier this season after winning the Napa Spring Sizzler.
Jacob Perry moves quickly into second. Woody Pitcat settles back into position number 4, but it is Ron Silk who comes off the turn like a rocket. The silver bullet has been shot out of the gun. Ron Silk brings them back off turn number 4.
Teddy Hodgson gets in the line in 5th. Top 2 look to break away. Steven Kopchik further back, looking to gain a position in car number 1 on Eric Goodale. Here is the 21, Jacob Perry, fastest lap last time by. Peak to the inside of Silk, and now does so again off of turn 4 for the race lead.
While that is happening, take a look behind them. Woody Pitcat puts the number 8 machine down underneath Pastriak. Pitcat moves in to position number 3. Meanwhile, back in 4th, Pastriak, then it's Teddy Hodgson to round out the top 5.
Ronnie Williams goes next in line, trying to fend off Eric Goodale for that 6th spot. Couple lengths back to Kopchik and Noah Corner, front half of the field, and just into the top 10 as we continue to watch the battle up front. Kind of simmered down for now among the race leaders. Hodgson slips up off of turn number 4 and may lose that 5th spot.
The Adam Scavora race car of Ronnie Williams makes its presence to the bottom. He'll try to challenge. Meanwhile, in the outside lane, side-by-side action there. Teddy Hodgson loose again off turn number 4. That gives Williams position number 5. And here comes Eric Goodale. Goodale, car number 58, sponsored by GAF Roofing. Back in the 7th position, Steven Kopchik up to 8. Noah Corner is in 9th, and Keith Rocco rounds out the top 10.
No real challenge for position in the middle of the pack, except for 5th. That's where things tighten up. Ronnie Williams, Teddy Hodgson, you see them racing up the back straightaway now, just in front of Eric Goodale and Steven Kopchik. A good 4-way battle there from 5th on back. Top 4 beginning to tiptoe away at the point, led by Silk. Jacob Perry, however, keeping him within arm's reach.
Meanwhile, look a little further back. The 179 machine trying to work its magic and get towards the front of this field. Austin Beers, who's been so consistent on the Wheel and Modified Tour, back up front. No real challenges there. It's happening between Beers in the 11th spot. Keith Rocco, the 57, is 10th, and Corey DiMatteo is running among the top 11, 12 cars.
Mike Christopher Jr. trying to reel in Di Matteo mid-pack in the 0-0. Not getting off the corner well is Christopher. Will lose a bit of ground up the back straightaway as we continue to watch the battle now deeper in the pack. Anthony Flannery in the mix, George Bissett Jr., Max Zackham in that black and green number 13. That is mid-pack outside of the top 15 as they go back to turn number 1.
That's the battle we're looking at. Swanson gets a little bit loose. Now remember, Swanson told us as the driver of 25, this is not the car they normally run here at Stafford. That car was a part, and that's the car they're going to be running tomorrow at White Mountain. You're following to the inside. Flannery took a peek at it. There's Bissett, the black and orange car. Car number 39. Back behind the wheel of Old Faithful. He tries to make the move to the inside. He is almost there. Kyle Rickey, George Bissett Jr. is coming to the front. Now he sets his sights to the inside of Matt Swanson.
And Swanson struggling early in this event, out of the top 15, all this racing from about 16th on back. Swanson will give up a spot to Bissett and another to Flannery in the 81 car before getting back in the line in about the 18th position on the racetrack. So Matt Swanson, car 25, a bit off the pace, but still a long way to go, 85 laps to run.
You know, Silk continues to hit his marks as the leader of the event. The margin between first and second, 4 seconds between the two, but there is times when the young and talented Jacob Perry can close up the gap. We're shifting further back, bottom of the top 10. Bissett is picked off the 81 machine, and that, of course, car number 81 of Flannery. Further back, in contention with that pack of cars, there's the 13 of Max Zackham, and there is Marcello Rufano, car number 48.
Everybody just getting laps under their belt right now, still in the first 20% of this event. Lap 17, now lap 18 about to go in the books. Silk has led them all over Perry. Here's Kopsick and Corner, the 1 and the 31, racing in the 8th and 9th positions.
Pretty good battle going on there. Noah Corner started his racing career competing in Legends cars, came up through the ranks here at Stafford. He's taken a couple of weeks off, married in 2024, the Wheel and Engineering machine. This kid's a talented kid, but he's had no luck at all. Stephen Kopsick, the 1 car. As this race is running, his best buddy, Chase Dowling, is having a stag party that Kopsick was supposed to be part of the hosting team. He chose to come here at Stafford, and that's to the liking of Dowling because it is a real battle still shaping up for that 8th position.
Kopsick in 8th, Corner in 9th. And then you get back a couple of more lengths to Keith Rocco, rounding out the top 10 in car 57. He has his hands full with Austin Beers. But no one stepping out of line. They're just getting laps under their belt right now. No real urgency to try to get to the front with Dow just 22 of 100 laps in the book. Still only 3 car lengths between the top 2 at the front of the field. There's that ongoing battle now with Williams and Hodgson, the 50 and the 55 for the 5th spot.
You know, earlier in this event, Hodgson had a car that was starting to loosen up off turn number 4. That is not the case now. It appears as the tires expand and heat up. Now you're looking at that battle. Noah Corner to the inside of Stephen Kopsick. Kopsick on the outside. Corner moves in. Here comes Keith Rocco. Rocco sets his sights as all of a sudden Kopsick's car is starting to go away. And coming to life in that same battle is Beers. Back a little further forward, Hodgson and Williams. They've been duking it out lap after lap. Now remember, Kyle Hodgson's started this season with a bang, and he has been very, very consistent. He puts it down low. Top of your screen. Those of you watching on Flow, Hodgson has finally moved around Ronnie Williams.
You referenced Hodgson's good start to the season. Won one of the Napa Auto Parts dual qualifying races, part of the Napa Spring Sizzler weekend. And Hodgson usually runs well here in an open modified, usually among the top 3 to 6 competitors, and that's where he is right now in the 5th position in car number 55, moving Ronnie Williams back to the 6th spot a lap ago.
We were just looking at the battle that is going on. Keith Rocco trying to shake off Austin Beers. That's the battle for the 10th position.
Trouble in turn 4, one car out of shape. It's Barry, he's okay. Half spin to the infield grass, but was able to hang on to it. Will lose a couple of spots in the process.
We're looking at now another good battle. Here comes Austin Beers. Keith Rocco's car goes up the hill. Who's the tail that wags the dog there? Michael Christopher. Last time we saw an open modified show, this 00 car was the strongest car. Problem now, car number 20.
That's Dana DiMatteo, fell off the pace in turn 2 a half a lap ago and has made it to his pit stall. So a tough break for Dana as he looks like may become the second casualty of this event, joining David Arute, who has gone behind the wall as we continue under the green flag. 30 laps in, all under green here in the GAF Modified Masters, and it has been all Ron Silk at the front. He's about to hit a few lap cars. Perry keeping him within a couple of car lengths in car number 21. In fact, closes in a bit more now off of turn 4. They are the last 2 cars on your screen coming through the start-finish line and working to that lap traffic to the outside.
Let's go back and take a look at that battle to the bottom of the top 10. You're looking at bottom of the screen, car number 179, Austin Beers. And every move that Beers has made, a counter move, has been made by the 00 of Michael Christopher. Michael Christopher has now worked his way into the bottom of the top 10. He sets in 10th. Beers is 9th. Eric Goodale is running in the 8th spot. Trouble now. Keith Rocco gets shuffled. Back a spot, Flannery and Bissett, the 39. Back up front. It appears that Silk cannot shake off the young and talented Perry, who continues to be in striking distance, Kyle, but no cigar.
Yeah, Perry was able to gain a car length last time by when they closed in on the Buddy Charette lap car, about a half a straightaway the distance to the next lap car. And Anglace, the next to go a lap down in car number 10. And here comes Perry, closing in on race leader Ron Silk in turn number 1, but can't make a move, and that's kind of been the story for most of the last 2 years whenever Ron Silk competes here. Been tough to beat, and it looks like Jacob Perry right now the only driver in class right now as we watch another battle deeper in the pack.
At a situation, Nick Salva trying to hold on in the outside lane, Keith Rocco to the inside. This is a battle for the 15th position and the 14th position. Salva trying everything to get down underneath Kid Rock, and he does. But will he be able to hold the spot? Here comes Rocco in his tire tracks, and now Rocco changing his line just a bit. This is a battle for 15th and 16th position. Back up front, leader and second place car comes up on heavy traffic.
Including the 10 of Anglace as we watch DiMatteo go to the outside over in turn number 3 on Flannery, who is to the bottom. And there's the leaders in that lap traffic. Anglace goes a lap down in car number 10. So 21 cars now remain on the lead lap with 40 laps in the books. Top 2 behind Blake Barney in turn number 2. And now he will go a lap down. We'll give the leaders room to the outside. Here's Perry within a car length of Silk.
Comes up again on lap traffic. This time it is car number 02. And he continues to make it known, Blake Barney's machine. But it has been Silk and Jacob Perry, the youngster that calls North Carolina his home, said he learned more in a very short time. Meanwhile, look at this other battle. As Bissett is running in the 12th position. Behind Bissett, Flannery has been there in the Todd Owen Chassis Pro, number 81. And Steven Kopsik, for the first time, is in the 13th position, and the Hummel's hot dog machine in 14th, blue number 11 car. Trying to get by Kopsik, smoke developing from the number 50, the Adam Scavora prepared car.
That's Ronnie Williams, slow
off the pace.
Up the back straightaway, will pull to the pit lane while running in the top 10 and in the top 5 a few laps ago. Caution is out. Might be something on the racetrack from that 50 car that officials want to take.
To watch, and one of the best drivers in modified racing today.
Chasing a $12,000 top prize here later tonight, 56 laps from now. Green flag is up, back underway, and it's going to be Silk to bring them into turn number 1. A lot of tiptoeing around on the outside, but everybody's okay. Woody Pitcat to the inside to challenge Jacob Perry for second.
There's no question Woody Pitcat took advantage of the situation on the bottom. He stays to the inside. Now Pitcat's car loosens up. Jacob Perry, middle of the racetrack. Pitcat takes advantage, back up to second. Now, let's shift a little further back. Noah Corner doing a good job threading the needle through traffic. 45. Now into the record book.
Here comes Woody Pitcat to the inside, digging on the bottom, but Silk a bit stronger in the outside lane, leads up the back straightaway, but Woody's keeping him honest at the front of the field.
No question about it. Silk will guard the spot. Top 4 cars, single file, and then it's car number 31, Noah Corner, turning some heads here tonight. Corner up to the top 5, car number 31, working its magic, but off turn number 4, single file, then they're doubled up for position number 5.
Noah Corner to the inside, watching that battle there for position as they exit turn number 2 and up the back straightaway. Matt Swanson in the mix, Austin Beers in the outside lane in the 179, finding pressure from Corner to the inside as the top 4 get away. Silk, Pitcat, Perry, and Hodgson.
5th is where it's all happening. Noah Corner to the inside. Swanson, he wasn't strong a few laps ago, but that suddenly all changed. And guess who's coming with him? Michael Christopher is into the top 9 with car number 00. Halfway down, halfway to go. Meanwhile, Bissett stuck in the outside groove, back towards the bottom of the top 10. Here comes Matt Swanson. Car 25 moves in, picks up the spot, and Swanson is like a man possessed. He is coming to the front of the class, now in the 6th position.
Hung out at the back of the pack in the opening laps of this race for car 25, almost like Swanson was saving something for the mid and late stages of this event. Just past halfway now, working lap number 53. Swanson finds himself in the 6th position and challenging Beers for 5th in turn 3. That's a good battle and probably the best among the race leaders.
Right now, back at the bottom of the top 10, Marcelo Rafano is up to the 9th spot. Noah Corner back to 8th. Di Matteo in the 11 car, and Zackham are in 10th and 11th. Meanwhile, Corner's car starting to back up just a bit. Here comes Matt Zackham, and it appears that Corner, now for the first time, has moved to the bottom of the top 10.
Pitcat gets a really good launch through 3 and 4, closes to within a car length and a half of Silk, but Ronnie, once onto the straightaways, able to drive away, maintain the race lead as we watch that battle with Corner and Di Matteo. A little bit deeper in the pack, just into the top 10. That's 9th, 10th, and 11th. Make that 10th, 11th, and 12th on your screen with Di Matteo now to the inside of the 31 of Corner, just in front of Anthony Flannery.
While that has been happening, Max Zackham has moved into the 8th spot. Michael Christopher up to the 7th position. Now you're looking at a battle that is between the number 11 car of Di Matteo, Flannery in the 81, and Noah Corner. That battle is for 10th, 11th, and 12th. But up front, 57 laps in, car number 16, Ronnie Silk, continues to pull away. 5/10 over Woody Pitcat in second, and Jacob Perry, car 21, in third.
Top 3 on your screen right now, coming off of turn number 2. There's the distance between the race leader Silk, back to Pitcat in second, then that scrambled mid-pack. Corner slides up the racetrack in car 31. Tyler Berry goes to the inside and a bid for 13th, for the 13th spot on the speedway.
Certainly is a battle there. Bissett is in that battle for 13th, 14th, and 15th. You're looking at it now, and there is the 13 of Max Zackham. Zackham goes around Michael Christopher. That's
trouble, turn number 4. One car goes around, might be Rafrano. It is in the 48. Flag. Then it's going to be Silk and Christopher in row 4, Teddy Hodgson and Goodale in row 5. See how Ron Silk can do in traffic for the first time here tonight as we go green with 59 laps in the books.
Green flag is out, and they were as evenly matched as possible when they crossed the line. Swanson to the outside of him, testing the waters, little bit loose. Max Zackham gathers it back. But for the first time tonight, Keith Rocco is now challenging for second. Car number 57, he gets loosened up.
Kind of a ripple effect through the field. Everybody's okay, but strung the field out into a couple of different groups. They're going to snap back together now in one group, and got wild there in turn number 2, right around where Ron Silk was running, who's been unable to gain ground. In fact, he may have lost a spot in that exchange a lap ago. Car number 16 currently in the 8th position.
What a nice move by Michael Christopher. Went from the outside to the inside. Jimmy Page's race car has moved in to pick up position number 5. Car number 00 on the move. Here comes Ron Silk. Silk in 7th, bidding for 6. Makes it look easy. Ron Silk is 6th and shown as the quickest car on the racetrack. No surprises here.
Moved around Tyler Berry. Now Jacob Perry in that same position a lap later on Berry in the 8th. They go nose to nose in turn number 3 with Perry taking that position away. A little bit of contact here on the front stretch. Perry is able to get away from Tyler Berry. Teddy Hodgson in the mix in car number 55. So great racing from about the 7th position on back, and a change for 3rd now in turn 4.
Off the turn, Woody Pitcat dives low. Inside move. Back towards the front of the field. And we've got the 00. Michael Christopher up to 4.
Steven Kopchik made that move a lap ago for 3rd, and now Christopher up to 4th. Silk is 5th. Matt Swanson, the race leader, and trying to get away before Christopher and Silk can get to that 2nd and 3rd positions, because they have been on the pit lane sooner than Swanson in that 25 car, who on a different cycle finds himself at the front with 33 laps to run.
Car number 21 continuing. Jacob Perry to try to follow Ron Silk to the front of this class. Silk is all over the back bumper of Christopher. Silk looks high. Christopher looks low. Down underneath Kopsick. Kopsick in the third spot. Here comes Silk. Can't do it. Christopher. Silk has got his nose back in there.
Christopher to the outside, Silk to the inside. 2 cars most recently on pit road under the latest caution, 10 laps ago, have fought their way back into the top 4. Here comes Ron Silk to the inside of Mike Christopher Jr., not giving him an inch in that outside lane, and that has allowed Teddy Hodgson to close it, make that Jacob Perry to close in the 21 car.
Keep your eyes on Silk. And look at Jacob Perry. He stuck his nose in there with car number 21 down underneath Michael Christopher. Kopsick gets shuffled back. No room at the end this time. Back in front of them. Silk closing in on Max Zackham. Your second place car, car number 13. Further back, Bassett was battling with Pastriak. Meanwhile, back up front, Christopher now settling in just a bit for the 4th spot. Here comes Silk, the bid for second.
Doing anything but settling in right now is Ron Silk, who goes to the inside of Max Zackham, and again, makes it look easy down in turn number 3, takes the runner-up spot away, and 0.8 of a second separate him from race leader Matt Swanson in car number 25. Can Swanson hang on for another 26 laps with Silk in second and Christopher now in 4th, Perry in 5th.
Good battle now as they start to close in. Matt Swanson has come from the back of the pack to the front, using pit strategy to his advantage. Silk is moving in. 0.6 separate first and second. Swanson trying to get away like a rabbit being chased by the dogs.
Eric Goodale further back, racing for position with George Bassett Jr. just into the top 10. That's 9th and 10th, and just ahead of them, Rocco and Hodgson for 7th and 8th. So a couple of different pairs racing amongst themselves in the second half of the top 10.
Hodgson.
At the front, it's 0.3 of a second. Remember, it was 8 just a couple laps ago.
It sure was.
Here comes Silk.
Hodgson tries to move around Keith Rocco, and he does. That is the battle for the 7th and 8th position. Bassett is in 9th. Goodale at the bottom of the top 10. The gap is not only closing, it's starting to go away. Matty Swanson was out in front and gone at one point. Ronnie Silk moves to the inside. Bottom of the racetrack, going, gone. Silk back in command of this event. The Silver Bullet dominates off turn 4.
Back to the front of the field goes Ron Silk with 21 laps to go and immediately pulls away from Swanson, who did everything possible to fend him off, settles into second, has a healthy gap back to Max Zackham in 3rd. Watching this battle for about the 7th spot on the speedway, Teddy Hodgson, George Bassett Jr., the 55 and the 39.
Bassett has been trying everything to get around Hodgson, who is currently running in 7th. Bassett is 8th. Rocco is 9th. Goodale is 10th. Just out of the top 10, Pastriak, Pitcat, Corner, Salva, and Di Matteo.
That's the way they run among the top 10 or so as we go back to the middle of the racetrack. Goodale and Rocco, middle of the pack that is. Pastriak is there and Pitcat. All racing amongst themselves in private battles through the fields. Here's Zackham. Might have his hands full with Mike Christopher Jr. in a race for 3rd.
Michael Christopher Jr. car is starting to loosen up just a bit. He reels in on Max Zackham, your 3rd place car. Christopher now losing some more ground with the 00.
Gap at the front of the field, now a full second between Silk and Swanson. So he's made up about a 1.8 seconds over the last 15 laps or so between closing in on Swanson and then pulling away on Swanson.
Bissett went around Stephen Kopsick to move into 6th. Kopsick was 7th. Hodgson is back in 8th now. There's Goodale, 10th position, just in front of Pastriak. Keith Rocco directly in front of Eric Goodale. 85 of 100 into the record books.
Continuing under the green flag will be 14 to go this time by, and Ron Silk has been dominant here at Stafford over the last couple of years. Most recently, winner of the Napa Spring Sizzler back in May, the last time that he raced here. He told us in pre-race that been focusing a lot of his efforts on the Spring Sizzler and the Fall Final, the start and finish of each season here at the Speedway. And well, he's won 3 of his last 4 races here at this racetrack in those events, wanting to do nothing more than to add a modified Masters trophy to his Stafford collection here tonight. And right now, Ben in good position to do just that 12 laps from now.
Certainly is. You're looking at Goodale trying to hold off Pastriak for the 10th position. Pastriak in the blue 5 car tries to go to the outside of Goodale. That's the pass for 10th position. Woody Pitcap struggled since pitting in the last round, as Pitcat is in the 12th spot. Now, going around Kopsick, Teddy Hodgson moves into 7th, Kopsick back to 8th. 10 laps to go when they come back to the stripe.
And that's where the race leader is right now, already off into turn number 1 by himself on a Friday evening here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Racing into the Friday night sunset is Ron Silk over Matt Swanson, who has done a great job of maintaining that runner-up spot. The strategy also working out on the pit lane for Matt Zackham in 3rd, as we watch Eric Goodale in the 58 try to get around the 8th of Woody Pitcat, just out of the top 10. That race for the 11th spot.
That race has been going on lap after lap, but the clock is ticking. And it looks like there's no overtime in the GAF Modified Masters. Ron Silk. The story for him, he came and he saw and he conquered. Silk comes up on lap traffic, the number 10 car.
Anglaise will go a lap down in the 10. I think that's Buddy Charette. Next car up, it is in the 28. Give race leader Ron Silk a bit of a fit off of turn number 2, but will get around cleanly by the time they get up the back straightaway. Swanson unable to really close now with 6 laps to go.
Bissett has worked his way into the top 5. He came from way in the back of this field. Great job for him. Perry in the 6th spot after early contending for the lead. There's your leader. Car number 16, as they're coming to 5 laps to go.
Further back, battle for position, Austin Beers and Salva. Nick Salva will go to the inside. We'll take that position away from Austin. That is 13th and 14th on the speedway, about a half a lap behind the race leader, who brings it back into turn number 1 of Ron Silk. Now with 4 to go, will be 3 at the line, and margin about half of the back straightaway or so. That's about 1.8 seconds on the racetrack, coming to 3 laps to go for Ron Silk.
The final countdown is going into the record books. Silk, Swanson in 2nd, Zackham in 3rd, Michael Christopher Jr. in 4th, and Bissett up to the top 5. You're looking at Ron Silk. You can see why he is a champion. And now, that other battle for the 9th and 10th position between Keith Rocco and Chris Pastriak. 98 now shows on the big board. Silk comes off turn number 4. White flag is out. final circuit. Ron Silk heads down the back straightaway. Car number 16 heading into turn number 3. The GAF Modified Masters, and $12,000 goes to the winner, Ron Silk. Matt Swanson to finish in the runner-up spot. Max Zackham to finish in 3rd. Michael Christopher to finish in position number 4. George Bissett, great run to round out the top 5. 6th spot is Jacob Perry. 7th position, Teddy Hodgson. 8th position, Stephen Kopsik. 9th spot is Chris Pastriak. And rounding out the top 10 is car number 57,